Yo, what's good, everybody? And thank you for tuning in to another SISTAS video. This video going to be a little different because it was inspired by a message that I received on Instagram. Now, if this is your first time coming to my channel, welcome. If you are a returning family member, then you already know what it is and what it always will be. Be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff if you choose to. If not, just sit back, relax, and we're going to get right into this thing. Now, this message came at a perfect time because every Friday I'm starting this new series that is entitled Say What, Say Huh?
Say what, say huh?
And basically, Say What, Say Huh is going to be a series where I go into depth with some of the comments that are listed under specific videos. Just giving y'all a warning, if you look at your screen now, whether it's your TV or your cell phone, your tablet, whatever you're using, you're going to see this little thumbnail of what it's going to look like and sound like. And it's going to be something where we just going to have fun. Whether I agree with you, disagree with you, feel indifferent, or neutral, but I feel like you spitting some facts. Everything is fair game. I'm not going to disrespect you if I disagree with you, but we just going to have fun and just, give it something to keep the channel spruced up and live. But let me go into Sis' message that she sent me on Instagram. And the only reason why I ain't saying your name, Sis, is because this was sent as a message and it wasn't on a public forum. So straight up, Sis, this is her. I don't like how you talk about Andi. You act as if her experience with Gary has not been traumatic. I have listened to all of your videos and I have never heard you say that Gary has been deceitful to Andi from the very beginning. It is not her fault that she fell for a married man because Gary never told Andi he was married. I think you are doing an injustice with her character in comparison to how you speak on the other sisters. I would love for you to do a video about the things I said in my message. Well, sis, your wish is my command because this is the video. Now, let me start off by saying that I'm disappointed in you, sis. I'm a little disappointed for two reasons. One, you're about to make me be on Gary's side for just a little bit, but you about to make me be on Gary's side, and I don't like doing that at all. Secondly, you did not do your due diligence to make sure that you were sending me facts before you hit that damn send button. But it's all right. Because nevertheless, we are here and I'm going to enlighten you and we're going to have a good time with this video. Now, you started off your message straight to the point by saying that you don't like how I talk about Andi, which is fine. You don't have to like how I talk about Andi and you are perfectly entitled to feel how you feel. And I'm not knocking you for that. People don't like how I talk about Fatima. Some people don't like the things I say about Karen. Some people don't like the things I say about Danny or Sabrina or Zach. And that's fine because everybody is entitled to feel the way that they feel. Now, I have never, ever stated that Andi hasn't had traumatic moments with Gary because she has. She was squeezed to the point of losing consciousness. That's traumatic. Having the FBI confiscate and seize her money, that's traumatic. Waking up in the middle of the night only to find Jasmine Borders, which at the time was Gary's, ex-wife, standing over her with a gun, is traumatic. And there are so many more traumatic experiences that Andi has experienced with Gary. You went on to state that it's not Andi's fault that she fell for a married man because Gary was deceitful and Andi never knew. It is Andi's fault, sis. It is Andi's fault. And see, this way you about to make me be on Gary's side. It is her fault. And not only that, Andi knew from the moment she met Gary that he was a married man. That bit of information has been said multiple times over the course of the 6 seasons that SISTAS has been on. So no, I do not feel for Andi in the least bit. Another reason why I don't feel for Andi is I don't understand the culture of people, not just women, but the culture of individuals who choose to mess with married people and then in some crazy twist of fate decide to be faithful to these people. And I'm like, how can you be faithful to somebody who does not belong to you? And when I say belongs to you, I don't mean it as property, But this is someone that you do not have a commitment with. You can, because they are supposed to be committed to someone else, both morally and legally. So I don't, if you're going to mess with a married person, which I don't advise it, but if that's what you choose to do, just understand what it is and what it isn't and what it will never be. Now, I'm not saying that my past is squeaky clean, because I've done some stuff that I never imagined that I would do. Things that I said I would never do, I have. But you know what? That's a story for another day, because this video is not about me. so we gonna keep it moving. Now, the first episode of Sistas, we learned that Andi has been having an affair with Gary for the past 6 months. 6 months, Andi chose to be the side chick. For 6 months, Andi chose to get the 6 a.m. penis appointment before Gary went home to his wife and kids. It's hard for me to have any type of sympathy for Andi, because this is what she chose. This is what she wanted. This is what was making her feel good and seen. So that's what she decided to do. In the words of Medea, for 6 months. Okay? That's a long ass time. That's a long ass time to be with someone and you only get a portion of their time. And they're only with you for sex. He's not asking you how your day was. He's not concerned. You're an escape. You're an escape from him being a father. You're an escape from him being a husband. You are an escape. But Andi knew the entire time, sis. So that's something that I can't put on Gary. I can't say that Gary is to blame for Andi falling for a married man. She always knew that he was married. It wasn't a surprise or a shocker. But even sticking with that, it's baffling to me that for 6 months, Andi was messing with Gary, and her homies, her sisters, her best friends never met him. They had no idea what he looked like, no idea about Gary other than his name and the length of time that Andi had been dealing with him. Karen was the only one who knew that Gary was married. And this is why I go on to say that Andi is a piss poor friend to Karen, and she's a piss poor friend to Fatima. And I know that is always like I know I get people, up in arms when I say that about Andi, because I know a lot of people do feel like that she is Fatima's friend, and that is something that I have never seen. And this is one of the main reasons why. Dealing with the Karen aspect, just for a brief moment. Karen kept this secret from Danny and Sabrina for 6 months. She never let anything out the bag. She never had a slip of the tongue, and she never alluded to the fact that Andi was messing with a married man. The moment that Andi has any type of information when it comes to Karen and this baby and Zach or Aaron, it's almost as if she cannot wait to tell Fatima. She can't wait to bring some sense of calm to Fatima when she's stirred up by revealing information that is none of Fatima's business. But that is just what Andi does. The reason why I say she's a piss poor friend to Fatima, I always go back to the beginning. And no, I don't feel you should hold people offenses to them, because people do evolve, but Andi ain't one of those people. Andi treated Fatima like she was pure trash. She talked down to this woman as if she was beneath her. Fatima did not become someone of worth to Andi until Fatima helped her when the FBI was seizing all her stuff and trying to gather information. That's when her perception of Fatima changed. That's when she started talking to Fatima as if she had some type of sense. But before that, Fatima was nothing more than as the little rascal say, the dirt between her toes. That's how Andi treated her. So now all of a sudden, because Fatima got a little thug in her, you know what I'm saying, you want to act like you so fearful of her now. Andi is just, no. I just can't deal with Andi. So she just gets no. It's hard for me to muster up compassion for people when you choose to just be that way. And so lastly, you feel like I'm doing an injustice to Andi in comparison to the other sisters. And I can rock with that, and I can understand that. But sis, all the sisters get on my nerves. All of them. And I love every last one of them, but sometimes I don't like their asses. And that's okay. Sometimes it is Andi at the bottom of the totem pole that I don't like that week. Sometimes it's Danny. It fluctuates. Hell. You know what I'm saying? I just never know. It's like a box of chocolate. You never know what the hell you're going to get. Because sometimes Andi has been the MVP in some of these episodes. And sometimes I'm just like, I just want to punch all of them in their throat. It fluctuates. Like I said, it happens. But I think for me, and this is just me, my assessment of Andi, I feel is legit. You know what I'm saying? Some people can feel like maybe you're a little too hard on the character. And I get that. But like I said, this is how I feel about Andi. This is how I perceive her. And I think one of the issues I have with Andi, and this is how I feel about people in real life, I think that Andi wants to live a life of intentional deliberates and intentional stupidity, void of consequences or accountability. Because when you look at SISTAS, anytime that someone brings something up to Andi about Gary, there is always a justification. She always makes excuses for him, and she always likes to remove herself from the conversation, whether it's physically move or whether just clock out of whatever anyone is saying. And that is something that all the sisters do. However, when it comes to Andi, I think it's even more detrimental because the sisters, minus Fatima, are aware that Andi has been involved with an abuser before. And I think, and that's something that Tyler Perry doesn't really communicate well to the audience. When you are a friend who has watched another friend go through domestic situations, and then you're watching this friend in a new relationship and they're going through the same thing, there is a fear there. You are scared. You are nervous. It does cause a sense of anxiety when you have a friend and you know what it could possibly lead to. And the way that Tyler kind of writes Andi and Gary to play off of each other, it's like, to me, Gary is a character where there are no redeemable qualities for him. Like, there is just not. He's an abuser. He's a narcissist. He manipulates. He controls. Now, those type of things, yes, Andi cannot control Gary. That's who Gary is. But at the same time, as I stated, she intentionally chooses to be with him. And even in the moments where Andi makes sense, Gary, we are bad for each other. We are not good for each other. We both know we need to leave each other alone. When sis is making points, okay, they don't last, because 30 minutes later she riding him on her couch in the penthouse. So why you said all that? So with Andi, even the moments that I give Andi props, I know within 15 minutes of the episode, I'm going to be wanting to punch her in her throat. But that's just what it is. That's just what it all boils down to. So I do thank you for sending this message, because you're not the only person who feels this way about how I feel about Andi. And, you know, some people, Andi is their favorite character. And I think that's fine. That's good. However, we can't, you know what I'm saying, excuse the behavior. You know what I'm saying? I like Karen. I like all of them. But I like Karen the most. If people be like, how you like Karen, girl? I just do. But that does not mean that she gets a pass when she's acting a plum fool on our TV on Wednesday nights. And speaking of Wednesday nights, we know that SISTAS return next Wednesday. I think it's the 18th. And you know, me and Erica Vane will be doing our SISTAS Keeper right after the show air. You know what I'm saying? So make sure y'all tune into that on her YouTube channel. Right after the show, we go live and discuss it. But I do think it is important for us women to have these conversations. That's why I'm thankful for the message that you sent, because some people, SISTAS has been on, I think October 23rd will make 4 years that SISTAS have been on. But in those 4 years, we have only seen at most 8 to 9 weeks of their lives. You know what I'm saying? In the SISTAS universe, it's only been like 2 months that we've seen of their lives. But I said all that to say, Andi is a character that I be really wanting to root for Andi. I really do, because I feel like Andi is someone, and we don't know about her childhood at all, but I feel like Andi's father wasn't around and her mother tried to overcompensate and make her feel like, other girls are jealous of you. You're smart, you're beautiful. And yes, it is good to affirm your child, but not to the detriment where they believe that other women are jealous of them and where other women can't obtain the things that they have been able to do. And that's how I look at Andi. And I'm going to just leave it at that. But I thank you guys for listening. I thank you guys for commenting. Welcome and thank you to all the new subscribers, all the new people who comment. I am sincerely appreciative for you, and I look forward to communing with y'all, engaging with y'all with these new things that I'm doing. Y'all make sure y'all check out on the playlist Back Down Memory Lane, where I'm going to be discussing the classic Black films or just classic films that were a part of my childhood, and I'm sure a part of yours. Love Jones is already up. You can go to it. I'm going to post it right here so you can see it. It comes out every Saturday. I just started last week. This upcoming Saturday will be Brown Sugar. Make sure y'all be on the lookout for that. Until next time, I will holler at y'all later, and y'all be safe out there.